Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're doing commentary on the cable.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me. Oh, for crumb's sake.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. And I may have just woken up just a little bit ago. But I'm here. Good morning. How large is the front row? Oh, it's huge. It's enormous. It is great to be here with you, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful evening. Crazy stuff going on in my neck of the woods, as you might have seen on the Law and Crime Network. Yeah, my neighborhood made it onto Law and Crime, and that's never good. Let me just say, if your neighborhood makes it on Law and Crime, it's never good. They're never like, hey, these guys are great. No, it's like, guess what happened here? You'll never guess. You've heard the phrase, and I don't mean to offend people. I know we have some postal workers here who are absolutely amazing, but you've heard the phrase called "going postal," where there was for a while there was like a spate of crimes being committed by postal workers when they were overworked and underpaid, and stress was through the roof. Apparently, we've got to have some version of that for realtors. Because in my neck of the woods, actually closer than my grocery store, was the crime scene. Triple murder by a real estate agent who I guess, I mean, I know people who have bought homes through him. I never did any business with him. I didn't know him myself. I didn't know the victims. But dozens and dozens of firearms. And my son found out from the friend of my son's friend is friends with a victim's child. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah, it's a little close to home, a little crazy, but like over 50 guns. I'm not sure if there were over 50 guns in his Sprinter van. Yes, a Sprinter van was involved. In his Sprinter van, or if there were over 50 guns in his home, but there were tons of guns in both locations, and he stole some from some of the victims that so we'll be watching that. I might have a case in my own backyard here soon, so we'll see. Anyway, we're going to kick everything off this morning. By the way, good morning. It's great to be here. I'm excited as I'll get out to get today underway, because we've got
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day! Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday. It is hump day. We're halfway through the work week. Chat is not on screen. I'll fix that. It's... I warned you. There's a hump day yell. It happens every Wednesday. So either skip Wednesdays... I got one thumbs up for my son, but also
thank you for taking the garbages
Oh,
out.
I got to thank you for taking the garbages out, which went like this. I'm like between dreams in that nice period of REM this morning, and Mrs. R.A. pokes me in the shoulder. She's like, Scott, the garbage man's coming, and they're not out of the street. And like 3 seconds later, I was fully dressed in I'm not sure whose clothes, but the closest thing I could grab, I put on. I don't know what I wore. Fully dressed and sprinting down the stairs, which in the dark, I nearly biffed it on our Lowe's lumber pile, which we have in our hallway for redoing our bathroom. I slid on the hardwood floor, caught myself by stepping on a 12-foot long 2x4, which catapulted it up, and it somehow got me in the wrist. I don't know how that happened. Ran out the door in the dark, didn't even turn on the lights, and I'm like, toe, as I'm walking. Grab the garbage cans and drag them out to the street, and then I noticed that the garbage truck is, I don't know, miles away. I don't know how she heard it, but I don't know. An hour later, the garbage truck came, but the garbage was out. So you're welcome. That was your job. I did it for you. All right. Welcome. A couple things. First, Vern, first in chat today. Congratulations, Vern. The internet is all yours. We're going to punish you for your excitement, your exuberance, for your earliness. We're going to punish you with internet ownership. So you're responsible for taking care of everything internet related worldwide. And maybe in the sky as well, because, Starlink and all. So anyway, we made it. The garbage is out. Crisis averted. But I missed out on that last little bit of sleep that was like the really quality bit you get at the end. You guys know when you miss that little bit, it's like you didn't sleep at all. So I missed out on that bit because I was taking the garbage out. Tried to go back to sleep. It's not the same. Of course, everyone's wide awake then, and so I can't sleep very well either. So anyway, we're back. It's hump day. We're halfway through the work week. We're about to start the trial of Tennessee versus Chen. I've got a murder in my backyard. I've got to sort of do some homework on and investigate as far as media access because, law and crime's already on it, so I should probably get on it as well since it's my place. But let's see. Where are we? We did the hump day yell. Birthdays. Birthdays is the next thing. We normally celebrate birthdays every morning as long as we have someone to sing to. And for the last, year and a half, we've had someone to sing to every single day. Even if it's a bit of a stretch, we've had to wait. Oh. Guys, a year and a half. There goes our streak. Why was nobody born today? What was so bad? 9 months? No, never mind. Let me do a little. Whose birthday is today?
Whose contact info are you looking
for? Let's not do that. What famous people were born today?
Here's what I found.
Let me check. Oh my goodness, Jan might have just saved us. Jan, this counts as a save if and only if you get your nephew to watch us sing the happy birthday song, either now or in the future. Let's see. Who was born today? Nope, nobody. No, just kidding. There were a couple. Molière, Alfonso V, or Alfonso 5. I don't know. Let's go to maybe something this century. I'm still in the 1800s. You guys, none of these names ring a bell. Let's see. 1920s. Oh, we could always do Martin Luther King. I thought it was on Monday. How did we miss Martin Luther King? I honestly thought we celebrated his birthday on a Monday, which always falls on a Monday, which now doesn't make sense. So let's do those two. Mike and MLK. Listen to that. And Patty. Mike, MLK, and Patty. Okay, so everyone stand up, take a deep breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbors, warm up with me if you will. Mike, MLK, and Patty. Oh my goodness, I need them all together. I'm going to forget these. Mike, MLK, Patty, and Megan. Someone type that up for me really quickly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike, MLK, Patty, and Megan. Happy birthday to you. That was the limit of my brain power at work there. Mike, Thank you so much. You guys are typing in. I can't remember more than 4 names at once. So to everyone celebrating a birthday today. Oh, happy birthday to you. We got CJ in here too. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear CJ. Happy birthday to you. How often does it match? Like, does it rhyme like that? Mike, MLK, Patty, happy birthday, Patty. Drew Bree's birthday, everybody. Happy birthday. Charo, Megan Charo. Wow, so many birthdays. To everyone who's celebrating the birthdays today, happy birthday. I realize there are a million places you could be, a million people you could be with, but you've chosen to be here with us. The privilege and pleasure is all ours. Thank you very much. We'll return that to you in a little way and hopefully make your day a little bit more specialer. It was close. We almost did not get to sing because we didn't think we were going to have anybody to sing to, which would have been a problem. We would have to just like start court and not have sung, which is terrible. I mean, we've done the hump day cheer, which would give us at least a little bit of excitement, but glad we could get birthdays in there. And a big one with MLK. Wow, how did I miss that? Spanish-American actress Charo, 74 today. Regina King. Drum solo coming up. She's 54 today. French tennis player Mary Pierce, 50 today. Here we go. Big drum solo to finish. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to all those who are celebrating. Help yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, McDonald's, Andy's Grill, Tammy Dunlap's house, and anywhere else that serves the fine American traditional pancakes. Flapjacks with maple syrup. All right, Michelle Johnson, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much. Love that little light blue courthouse by your name. It changes colors. You were off a beat. I was, but I blame it on the delay from HDMI because I was watching the timing on my screen.
Happy birthday.
See, I've got an excuse for everything. I was just off, okay? I was off. Thanks for calling me out. I was off. All right, we're going to kick things off today with a quick recap of where we were or where we are in this trial. If you're just picking it up now, first of all, I think this is a great trial. There are some things about this trial that make it different. Thank you, sir, my new best friend. Oh, you're welcome. There's some things about this that make it a little different than other trials that we've watched. The one of them being that we have a fully sequestered jury throughout the trial. They've been brought in from Nashville to Chattanooga. Why did I say Chattanooga? I don't know. I apologize, Tennesseans. But they've been bussed in. They're being kept at a hotel. They have long work days because the judge knows they don't need to go home. He's not letting them. So we work from early in the morning till about 6 o'clock at night, and you know it is what it is. Now it's Chattanooga forever. I'm sorry. I just renamed your town. I just renamed the city is now Chattanooga. It's because I didn't get enough sleep. I think that's why. As we get started here this morning, we are on day 3 of this trial. If you look in the I don't know what's it called, the description of this video. You should see at the top we have the day and the part, because there are 2 parts every day. There's a morning and an afternoon. We break for lunch a little bit, so we all get a little bit of a rest. And you'll also see the links for the map. I put the links for the map in the description. People were asking for that, mostly on replay, because all the people on replay are like, share the link with us. We want to see. Because the replay chat doesn't show up for like 24 hours for some reason. It's weird that way. Buffer, my last message. Buffer, huge shout out. Congratulations to our very own Matthew Harris Law PLC. Look at Mod Chat for info. Oh my goodness. Matthew's been a busy man lately. Let's see what's up here. Where is Matthew?
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Oh, let's see. Join us in congratulating our Matthew Harris on his incredible achievement of becoming board certified in family law.
Because he's the guy.
He's the first attorney in Lubbock to earn this distinction in the past 10 years. He's a significant milestone.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
as only 5% of Texas lawyers attain board certification, a testament to the rigorous standards and expertise required to qualify and pass this challenging exam. Matthew, MHL. I have a shirt that says everything I learned about law, I learned from Matthew Harris Law. And he's one of our mods. He's a busy man. As you can tell, he's been working on his personal career. But we love it when he's able to join us as well. So watch for him in chat. If you see him, let me know so I can congratulate him. That is a huge, huge success.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
All right. We're going to do a quick recap. No lunch yet, Mindy. You have to wait for lunch. Not yet. We're going to do a quick recap of, you know what? Here's what you want to do. Matthew Harris, he has a YouTube channel as well. So if you go to Matthew Harris Law PLC, which I think we have a link to his channel. He puts out a poll, I think every single day, where if you take the poll, I'm convinced, this is just me speaking, I'm convinced if you take the poll and pass it with 80% rate throughout the year, you're practically a lawyer. You could pretty much just take the bar and pass.
In front of the Walmart.
So go over there on his channel and leave a comment on one of his videos. He does a lot of short videos that are really entertaining and fun. Leave a comment and congratulate him about that family law board certification, which is just awesome. All right. Just for clarification, says Angelique, it's only been 6 witnesses for the state, right? Well, let's see. Number 1 was Katrina Bean, which is the victim's mom. Number 2 was Officer Pierre from Chattanooga, who was the one that took the missing person report. Oops. Number 3 is Megan Bean, who worked at Walmart in asset protection. Number 4 was Kelsey Campbell, store manager at Walgreens, who did some videos. Scott Miller was a condominium security, who had the video of the car arriving, but couldn't see who was driving. 6 was investigator Zachary Crawford. He took pretty much the whole day, almost. He was on for like 24 hours on the stand. It was nuts. And then 7 was Douglas Lynch, who lived in the same apartment building as Chen and had the doorbell ring cam that showed him walking in and out. Number 8 was Detective Stephen Bulkey. He's a Chattanooga Police Department homicide investigator for the last 5 years, but he got 13 years total experience. He got the T-Mobile records warrant, and he got used the data from the phone to drive right out there to the creek where the phone said he was, and within a minute they found the suitcase with the body. And so we had that testimony. That was tough yesterday. That was tough. So 8 witnesses total so far. We're going to go to our 9th. It was, I believe, a new witness this morning is where we're starting. So let's see. If you have any questions about those witnesses, obviously the replays will be available for all of you, but we can answer questions before court starts as well. Let's see. I forgot the employees at Walmart and Walgreens. They were quick. They were really, they're almost, it's just a formality, right? There's no cross-examination of these witnesses. Now, tell me about your certifications to run the security camera replay machine at Walgreens. It's just, they're the records holder. They're the person who's like, I'm authorized, I have access, I can tell you that is what it is, and it was what it said, and I gave it to the investigator. Done. So they're pretty quick. Angelique, you are welcome. We're here to answer any questions you have. And most of the time we get it right with a little help from my friends. Red Pen, there is a thumbnail. Red Pen's thumbnail is really good. I have the old one. I'm not sure if it's changed much yet, but it looks like this. We're not using this as a thumbnail for the video itself, but I will keep you updated. Let me see if I can hide my picture for a second. This is a tribute to Jason Chen's photo montage wall, where it looks like he cut things out of magazines and Polaroid camera pictures and everything and just pasted them all over his wall in his apartment. Red Pen has gone and put a lot of the pertinent things, everything from asparagus to the stabby, Post-it notes, the suitcase, everything else on these pictures. I think Red Pen, going forward, the only thing we can do is zoom out and add more pictures. But it's a really good. It's a really good thumbnail. So thank you for that, Red Pen. Oh, you've added a key to it so we can understand what it is. Do you want to open it up to everyone for viewing, or I don't know? Let me know if you'd like that. Red Pen's like, no. That was the finished work. We're not going to add anything else. That took all my time. Even added a little man in the corner. Yeah. quick rundown of the case. Thanks to Josh, by the way. Josh, thank you very much. I appreciate the time you spent here. You are very dedicated and you are an invaluable asset to the channel. Josh is going to have to leave us a little bit today, so we won't get him this afternoon. But for now, here's the update. Saturday, November 22nd, Jasmine Pierce disappeared. November 26th, she was reported missing. November 29th, Jason Chen was arrested. And December 1st, they found the suitcase with Jasmine's body inside. It's a quick timeline. November to December, you're looking at a week. So it was all pretty quick. Favorite witness so far was the mama bear. Katrina did absolutely amazing. I think she solved the case. I mean, she needs like an honorary key to the city because she was the city's lead investigator when it comes to solving crimes. Let's see. So a couple other things that makes this case unique or very different from most of our cases. The defendant has pled not guilty, but his lawyer says that he is guilty. Yes, it's strange the way that happens. But he's admitted it in the open. He's like, look, my client's guilty. He killed her. I'm like, well, what are we doing here, right? Mission accomplished. Let's go home. And no. He says he is guilty, but not of the crime he's charged with. The lawyer feels that he is not guilty of that first-degree murder, which has that premeditation in there. And he says it was all, you got everything right except the premeditation. And, of course, they have a story for how the whole thing went down that he says was a crime of passion. The lawyer says it was a crime of passion, Mr. Weiss. But when he describes it as self-defense, which doesn't quite make sense. So we'll have to see where this goes. So the only thing that the defense is really fighting is anything that that either A, makes the police look bad in the investigation. That's always nice to do for the defense, to make the investigators look incompetent and make it look like it was a shoddy investigation. And B, anything that goes towards the premeditation of their client towards this murder. So that's where they're putting up their big fight. All right. Red Pen, I still think Ari needs to make all the poster thumbnails available for magnets or stickers. Red Pen, I can get you all the images. I can share them with you. You'd be better at putting them together, I think. All right, we have to talk, Red Pen. We have to talk. Defense lawyer's line sounds like something I heard on a TV show or movie. Maybe that's where he got the idea. There's a big difference between saying he's guilty and saying he killed her. The defense lawyer literally said both. He literally said that his closing. Let me verbatim. Because I typed this out. It just floored me so much. But in the closing, this is how he finished. The quote, his lawyer says, and I quote, "Jason Chen is guilty, but he's not guilty of the crime he's charged with. Jason Chen should be found guilty of the crime he did, not the crime he didn't." That was, and he also said he killed her. Like he said that he did kill her. He described it how it happened in a blackout. He killed her. Sorry, I said closing. I meant opening. You're absolutely right. It's not evidence. They still have to. The jury cannot consider that. But way to plant the seed. For a guilty verdict. I meant opening. I always mix those two up.
Court is now in session. Judge Boyd Patterson presiding. May be seated. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Judge.
As the lawyers know, other cases are continuing to evolve. I've been on the phone all morning with a federal case, regarding a federal case. The one that you figure out where Mr. Strickland was. Chad Wilson's been working on that federal.
Thank you, Greeners, for this clarification.
I think they're bringing on us now.
They're bringing the defendant right now?
Oh, good.
want to thank everybody for the early likes. We're already up to 248 likes on the live stream. I think this will be my one ask from you guys is getting a like from you. If you're here to watch, please click the like button.
While we're waiting to present to council approaches.
While we're waiting, we have the first approach, the first sidebar. We don't have any clue what's going on in these sidebars. The judge has been remarkably silent after the sidebars and not really telling us what they're talking about. Sometimes you have a sidebar and then the judge will explain things to like the court or to the jury. In this case, the jury's not here, so I doubt we'll get any explanation. But Sinbad, if you're both in the same place, there are probably 10 or 15 pins in that city, and only one shows up. It's just a glitch in the system. If you search for your name, you'll see that it's there, and I'll put the pin there. But I think the last person to drop a pin on that city is the name that shows up. Oh, wow. We just like that, picked up over 100 likes. You guys are amazing. Diane, member for 6 months, got that yellow courthouse. Thank you, Diane. Congratulations. Appreciate you being here. Does anybody know how long he's known her? Irish Ice, we understand that they met through an online app called Tinder, which is... I think it's referred to as a dating app. Other people have called it other things, but it was a very short relationship. I believe only a couple of weeks. She had not yet even introduced him to her parents. They knew that she was dating or seeing this guy, but that's it. How can Vern get the first in chat certificate? Vern, all you need to do is go over to the YouTube page. Our YouTube page, so Recovery Addict channel, and there you can scroll across the menu bar on the top, where it has like the about and the home and the videos and the live and everything else. One of them says shopping. If you scroll through the shopping options, you will see that there is a certificate of internet ownership, and that is something you can download for the low fine of 50 cents, which is the cheapest they would let me put it. And then they take all the money. I don't make a penny from those certificates, I want you to know. But that certificate is downloadable, fill in the blank, and it's suitable for framing or use as a cover sheet on your CV. Good morning, Melissa. Good to see you here. Hope everything's going well with you and Matt. I can't waive those court fees. I wish I could. Sinbad, it's bad. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's good and bad. We don't want to see exactly where everyone is, but at the same time, it does sort of defeat a little bit of the purpose when we can't see people who are next to us. Okay, Laura Fry, I may have stayed up a little bit too late last night watching videos of ice fishing in Minnesota because we talked about ice fishing. Melissa, that's great news. Thank you for sharing that. Tell him hello from us. Teresa, OG, member for 20 months. Congratulations, Teresa. Carol, great question here. I know you asked Josh, but I'm going to intercept the question. There are certain commands. Oh, he's in chat. Matthew, hello. Welcome. There are certain commands on this channel that are triggered by that exclamation point. So this command by Mrs. C triggers this response.
All right. Media folks here today, and they may go into tomorrow, there will be some photos perhaps of the victim, whether it's autopsy or coming out from where she was found. The court, again, recognizes the media's importance of being in court. It's one of the things that makes us different than non-democratic societies. I'm glad that you're here. You need to abide by the court's rulings when needed. There is one today. You cannot put live stream on a camera that's going elsewhere any of the graphic photos of the victim. Okay? Family has a right to have this proceeding done with as much dignity as possible, and the court feels that that is something that's a reasonable request. You can focus in on the witness's face only. If you can't do that, you can do audio, but you need to make every effort to ensure that no graphic photos of the victim are broadcast. Everybody understand? Understand, everyone?
Yes, we had already decided we were not going to better photos.
Okay. Thank you very much. The family appreciates that too. And I appreciate General Moore coming up with that work plan. Mr. Chen is in the courtroom. Any matter to discuss before we resume the jury trial? Either side.
No, Your Honor.
Fragment jury.
So that is good news. The camera, they're going to do their best, but sometimes we're showing a picture we are allowed to show, and then they just hit the advance to the next slide, and it happens. So please be aware that might happen today. I will try to cut away if it does happen, but we'll have no warning possibly. Oh, -8 is beautiful. I do wear gloves when it's that cold. If it's below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, I wear gloves. Jury's filing in now. It should get a little quieter once everyone takes their seats.
Please be seated. Good morning, jurors. Anybody work out yesterday? Nobody? Okay. You exhausted? Well, sometimes when you're exhausted, it's a great time to work out. Hope everyone slept well. First thing I have to ask, is everyone able to abide by the court's admonition not to discuss the case, not be exposed to any type of media, record everyone on their head? Before we presume that one matter we need to bring up with you, yesterday we heard testimony from one of the witnesses about the defendant, about the asparagus, taking produce from one of the stores, and while he typed, he said he was purchasing asparagus, but he did not purchase any asparagus. That's technically a crime, shoplifting. It was only admitted because it was relevant to this case. In fact, parties agreed that he was buying cleaning supplies at that time. And using keying in asparagus instead of some of the things that he was actually purchasing is the reason that it was admitted. It's really important. One of the aspects of a fair jury trial is that other crimes don't get admitted unless it's relevant somewhat. And the legal term for that is propensity. Just because a person commits one crime does not mean that they have a greater propensity to commit the crime they're on trial for. So I say that to say this, the only thing that you can consider the defendant's purchases from Walgreens and Walmart for in the fact that one item was keyed in when that was not actually taken is for the non-propensity reason that goes to him buying cleaning supplies to clean up after this act. Okay? Parties wish to address this matter? No. Our general parties wish.
Michelle Johnson, Your Honor.
So we got the asparagus talk. And we learned a little bit about propensity to commit crimes. And we found out our next witness was Michelle Johnson. So it's been a productive morning.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. Would you please state your name and spell your last for the record?
Michelle Johnson, Johnsson.
What's your profession? What do you do for a living?
I'm a crime scene investigator with the Chinese Police Department.
How long have you worked as a crime scene investigator for the Chattanooga Police Department?
Approximately 7.5 years.
Did you have any experience in law enforcement prior to becoming a crime scene investigator?
I also worked 16 years in corrections.
Have you received any kind of specialized training that assists you in the performance of your duties as a crime scene investigator?
Yes, I have.
What is that?
Crime scene investigator, we go through 6 months of on-the-job training with a senior crime scene investigator, hundreds of hours of specialized training, including 400 hours for attending and graduating from the National Forensic Academy. It's a 10-week intense training for crime scene investigators.
Day to day, what does a crime scene investigator do for the police department?
We respond to normally major case crimes and process the scenes.
I'd like to take you back, if I could, to November the 22nd of 2022. Do you recall the events that took place on that day?
Yes.
Were you working as a crime scene investigator on the 27th of November?
Yes.
On that day, did you have an opportunity to assist with a, collection of evidence?
Correct.
Do you recall what location you first went to on the 27th?
I was notified around 10 p.m. by Detective Crawford, and he requested that I respond to 5977 Old Dayton Pike.
And do you know the significance of that location?
He had informed me that he was working a missing person case, and he asked me to respond to this location where the missing person, or Jasmine Pace's mother was, and collect items of evidence that had been taken from Jason Chen's apartment.
Do you recall specifically what items you collected?
I collected electronic devices. I believe there was some clothing, some notebooks, Jasmine Pace's ID, along with several credit cards belonging to her.
Ma'am, I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 12. Are you familiar with this photograph?
Yes, that's a photograph I took. That's in the manner in which I received the items.
And when you say the items, are those the items that you just described to the jury, the clothing, the notebooks, the electronic devices?
Yes, sir.
I'm now showing you what has been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 11. Can you describe what we're seeing in this photograph?
Yes, there's 4 cell phones, a Polaroid camera, and a tablet or laptop.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes as Exhibit number 139. Could you take a moment to familiarize yourself with this?
Okay.
Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes. It's the identification for Jasmine Pace and her cards.
Did you take that photograph?
Yes.
Was it taken at the Pace residence or another location?
It's hard to tell. I may have taken it when I got back to the office just to take more detailed photographs.
Is it common practice to collect evidence at a location and then further photograph it once you take it back to the police department?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Specifically, ma'am, why would you want to do that?
It's just a more controlled environment, and we can lay things out and have better lighting also.
Does that photograph fairly and accurately depict the IDs that you collected from the Jasmine's residence?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 10. You see the items in the lower left-hand corner of Exhibit 10?
Yes.
Are those the same documents and IDs that we see in Exhibit 139?
Yes, that's correct.
If you are at this time, I would move to admit into evidence Exhibit 139 with photographs of IDs and credit cards.
139.
That whole sheet, or? Yes, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, I'm now going to show you. Can I have the document? Yes, sir.
The screen is dark. I don't see anything. Okay, let me...
The names on the various credit cards and the driver's license.
I don't know why they do this.
Yes.
Are they all for the same person, Ms. Jasmine Pace?
Yes, I believe they were.
And specifically, what is Truist and SunTrust?
YouTube's been
banking institutions.
Same with Capital
problematic
One?
about showing
I believe they have
documents.
banking and credit card services.
Thank you, ma'am. Back to DVD. In addition to the items that you collected from Ms. Katrina Pace in the box that we saw previously, did you do anything else?
I also documented with digital photography the residence where Jasmine Pace was residing.
Specifically, could you describe the location that Ms. Jasmine Pace was residing?
It was just below her mother's house. It was I guess a pool house. Just an open room and bathroom.
Ma'am, I'm showing you what has been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 17 to this trial. Did you take this photograph?
Yes.
And what does it depict?
It's the shower inside the bathroom.
Ma'am, is that location located inside what we see here in Exhibit 14?
Yes, that's correct.
After you collected these items, the photograph, the items shown in the photographs, including the electronic devices, Jasmine Pace's credit cards, her driver's license, what did you do with those items?
I secured them inside my crime scene vehicle.
And after you secure them in your crime scene vehicle, what do you do with them then? What's the next step?
Normally, if I go back to the crime scene office, I would package and seal them and secure them possibly in the evidence vault and eventually turn them into our property and evidence division.
You mentioned the evidence vault. Is that different than the property and evidence division?
Correct. It's a secured vault we have inside the crime scene office where we keep evidence that we are still packaging or processing.
How do you prepare a document for submission to a particular, to the property room?
The first thing we do is an evidence report for all the items we collect. Then we have to complete a property sheet. We also have to complete labels to identify the evidence inside the bags, and we place those labels on the outside of the bags.
What type of bags do you use?
Brown paper bags or cardboard boxes sometimes.
Stop and shop bags.
Why would you use one over the other?
Just for size. If something's really large, we may have to use a box.
And who does all of the packaging, the preparation of the property report, so on and so forth?
The investigator who normally collects the evidence. I would have packaged this stuff.
Specifically in this case, those items you collected from Ms. Katrina Pace at her residence on Old Dayton Pike, did you go through that process?
Yes.
Now, Ma'am, the items that you collected from the Pace residence, are they assigned a number before they're submitted to the property room?
Correct. Once they're added to our evidence report, they are assigned a number.
Specifically, the items that you collected, the notebooks, Your Honor, for the record, I'm now showing Exhibit 10, the credit cards, the keys, the clothing. What numbers did you assign for this collection of evidence?
Without looking at the evidence report, I believe it started at 74. I'm not sure.
Why would you start at 74? Was this the first place that you went?
It was the first place I went.
So if it's the first place you went, why did you start with 74?
When we respond to a crime scene, we have a primary crime scene and then we have secondary locations. The primary crime scene is going to take precedence over a secondary location, which in this case, going to Jasmine Pace's residence was a secondary location. And once we go to a primary location, we use evidence markers, which are numbered markers, yellow placards, and we begin marking our evidence with number 1. And so when we use evidence markers on the primary scene, that number has to correspond with our evidence report and with the item number on the property sheet. So in other words, the items we mark with evidence markers will be listed first.
Okay. So the bottom line is, if you started at 74, that would be indicative of going to another location.
Okay.
Did you in fact go to another location?
Yes, I did.
What other location did you go to?
Detective Crawford requested that I respond to 110 Tremont Street, apartment 210.
When did you go to that location at Crawford's request?
I arrived there right around midnight.
What time did you arrive at the Dayton Pike location?
Not for certain. I think it was probably around 10:30.
Between the time that you arrived at 10:30 and then when you got to Tremont Street very late in the evening, what were you doing? What were your activities?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What were you doing in between when you arrived at Dayton Pike and when you eventually arrived at Tremont Street?
I was taking photos of Dayton Pike and collecting those items that Detective Crawford had requested that I collect.
Thank you, ma'am. When you arrive at a crime scene such as 110 Tremont Street to conduct a search, is that typically incident to a search warrant?
Correct.
When you arrived at 110 Tremont Street, was there already a search warrant there?
I believe Detective Crawford had notified me via phone that he had signed the search warrant. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it was physically there yet or not.
Okay. So after the warrant is obtained, is that when the search begins?
Yes.
Specifically, ma'am, do you recall the location that you searched at 110 Tremont Street?
As far as the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, apartment 210.
Okay. Can you describe to the jury what apartment 210 looked like?
It was a small apartment, kind of a shotgun style, where pretty much one way in, one way out. Entered into the living room area. Then there was a kitchen, a laundry area, and then a bathroom, and then the bedroom.
Now, would you walk the jury through the process that you as a crime scene investigator go through to search a location such as the one that you just described?
The first thing we would do is an initial walkthrough. And during the initial walkthrough, we'll look for any evidence in plain sight. During this time, we don't disturb anything. And we also formulate a plan of action as far as processing the scene, and just get an idea of the layout of the crime scene that we will be processing.
Would you describe the initial walkthrough as an actual search for evidence?
Anytime we walk through a crime scene, we are continuously searching. But during the initial walkthrough, we don't move anything or search inside of anything. We don't disturb anything during the initial walkthrough, but we do search.
As you begin to process the scene, do crime scene investigators produce any kind of documentation that helps them remember where items are collected?
Yes, we take written notes, and we also do a scene sketch marking the location of where items are recovered from.
What was your specific role at 110 Tremont Street?
My role was to document the scene with visual photographs and collect the items of evidence.
Who was the lead crime scene investigator at that location?
I was.
Now, I'm going to be showing you what's been marked for identification purposes as Exhibit 140. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes.
What is Exhibit 140?
This is a diagram that investigator Sarah Brown created based on her sketches of the crime scene.
As the lead crime scene investigator, were you aware that she was producing that sketch?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review that sketch?
Yes.
Is it to scale?
No.
Okay. Does it fairly show the general location in proximity to various other items that were collected from 110 Tremont Street?
Yes.
Does it assist you as a crime scene investigator in explaining where in the apartment things were located generally?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I would move to make this the next exhibit.
Exhibit 140.
Publish the jury. Yes, sir. All right. Can you see the television? Barely?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's not the clearest. You know how to use cell phones, etc. You can pinch and make it bigger. Okay. Can you see this clearly? Would you like me to make it a little brighter for you?
It's a nice little sketch of the apartment. It's small.
Could you please orient the jury what we're looking at specifically in Exhibit 140 that they can see on the television?
Okay, at the bottom of the page is the entrance to the apartment.
And how do you denote that on the sketch?
So there's a door opening right here.
Okay, when you say right here, what does it look like? Is it
kind of like a triangle shape along the bottom?
okay? Would you agree, ma'am, that it's the vertical line with the arc heading towards the left of the screen?
Yes.
Okay. And that leads into the living room?
Correct.
Okay. Moving now back towards the top portion of Exhibit 141, where are we getting into now?
Once you go through the living room, there's a peninsula for the kitchen that contains the kitchen sink. And then to the right, there's a washer and dryer closet.
Okay. And behind that, or I guess further into the apartment?
That's when you enter into the bathroom. To the right, is the shower, and to the left was the toilet and the sink.
And finally, towards the very top.
That is the bedroom.
Thank you.
So you walk through the bathroom to get to the bedroom.
Did you document your initial walkthrough of the residence that we see in the crime scene sketch on the screen?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 9. Who took this photograph?
I did.
And what does it generally depict?
It just shows the entrance of the apartment.
During your initial walkthrough, specifically immediately after this photograph was taken, did you have an opportunity to examine the door frame?
Yes, that's one thing we routinely do is check to see if there's any signs of forced entry.
I'm showing the jury Exhibit 36, ma'am. What types of things would you look for signs of forced entry on the door frame?
You would look for scratches or damage to the framing of the door.
Would you agree, ma'am, that there's some scratching on this door frame?
Yes.
Did you find signs of forced entry on this door?
Yes, and it's also hard to determine when those would have occurred.
Sure. Were there large dents or gouges into the door frame?
No, not that I recall.
Going to the actual locking mechanism of the door, Exhibit 37, did you see signs of damage to the door indicative of forced entry?
No.
How do you...
So the credit card
is
didn't
there
leave any
a
marks.
method or a process that you as a crime scene investigator go through to document and process a scene?
Yes.
How do you do that?
As far as documenting the digital photographs, we'll take overall photographs of the scene, and then we'll take closer up photographs of the scene, and if items of evidence are discovered, then we'll take close-up photographs.
Do you work your way through the residence in any particular manner?
Normally we have a pattern that we'll follow. Different investigators use different patterns. In this case, it being such a small area, there was pretty much just one way to navigate through the apartment.
Okay. Do you recall what pattern or method you used to walk through the apartment?
Just started at the entrance, and like I said, it was pretty much like a shotgun apartment, and walked to the back. And from there, we were able to see, all areas of the apartment.
What items were you looking for? What kind of evidence were you looking to collect?
At the time, it was a missing person case. We were looking for any items of evidence that really didn't belong in the apartment, anything out of place, or anything that could have indicated that there could have been a crime committed there.
During your initial walkthrough, did anything catch your eye?
The first thing I noticed was the coffee table. It seemed a little out of alignment with the couch.
I'm showing Exhibit 38. Could you please explain that to the jury?
Yes, I think normally people have the coffee table pretty much centered with the couch, parallel, and it was just off angle.
What else?
Then we walked behind the couch, and I observed what I believe to be suspected blood on the floor.
Ma'am, I'm showing you Exhibit 43, and is this the location that you're describing behind the couch?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also now showing you Exhibit 80, Do you see any of the suspected blood in this photograph?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, could you point it out? Here's a laser pointer right there for you.
I believe there's some up in this area right here.
Okay. I'm now showing you Exhibit 81 and now Exhibit 82.
Yes, this area right here.
What surfaces was the blood on that you observed?
It was on the floor.
That's an old wood floor. That damage is old.
It's
It's not
also
new.
on some of the walls, the bathroom tile, bathroom light switch. Where there was at least 2 areas in the bedroom. The suspected blood.
Ma'am, I'm now showing you Exhibit 59. Can you point out the suspected blood in this photograph?
Right here in the sprout line, as well as in this carpet area right here.
Ma'am, I'm now showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 67. Do you see any suspected blood in this photograph?
This area right here that caught my attention.
Exhibit 68, was that a close-up of the preceding photograph?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. And in what rooms was the suspected blood located?
Living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, all the rooms.
Every room?
Yes.
Excuse me, Judge.
Every room had blood. She's sort of mumbling, talking quietly, and not talking to the microphone. It's the trifecta. Plus we get the ASMR. He just coughed all over the evidence. He's like, I don't care about the evidence. I came to get water. Well, we know who the cougher is now. Today's an ASMR day.
Ma'am, I'm handing you this pre-marked identification photographs. Item 141. You recognize this?
Yes, it's a carpet sample that was cut from the bedroom floor.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Did you collect that item?
Yes.
Where did you collect it from?
Jason Chen's bedroom.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit into evidence item 141. I'd like to take the document projector, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Now, ma'am, now placing on the document projector what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 141. You described earlier a paper bag, and we can all see the paper bag. What's the significance of the red item that's stapled to the top of this red bag?
That is a property tag. Property and Residence Department would apply that to the bag.
Okay. What is the significance of item number that we see here?
It just corresponds with the item number that's on the bag.
And does that correspond with the item number as it's introduced into property?
Yes.
Okay. When we see a description here, what's that?
It's just a brief description of what is in the bag.
So that you know what's inside the brown paper bag?
Yes.
Now we see some white tape. What does that tell the jury?
The package was sealed.
Does it mean that it potentially was opened at some point for examination?
It could have been, but they would have to cut the seal and then reseal it.
And we see a kind of scribble there with a Sharpie towards the center. What's that?
That's my initials.
Does that mean that, what does that mean? Placing your initials on the seal and the bag itself?
That means that I sealed that bag.
Okay. After it was opened at some point?
Yes.
What's the significance of the white label?
That is a crime scene investigator evidence label. We apply it to all items of evidence to give a brief description of what the item is, where the item was collected, and when it was collected.
Who prepares that white label?
The crime scene investigator would.
So in this case, it says Investigator M. Johnson. That means you prepared this label.
More than likely. Sometimes when we get back to the office, other people will assist in typing up your labels.
The location of recovery, okay? If the jury were to want to, there's a lot of evidence already in evidence in this case. If they were wanting to examine a particular item of evidence and place it within a particular location, can they learn anything by looking at the location recovery mark?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. So the jury has received a lot of items of evidence, okay, which they will be allowed to take back with them to review.
Okay.
If they were wanting to look for a particular item of evidence that was found in a particular location, could they do that by looking at the recovery location?
Yes.
Okay. And in this case, it says bathroom, bedroom, transition, southeast of shower. What does that mean?
That was the location given to it by me and on the evidence report. And then we will transfer that information to the evidence label.
Okay. And ma'am, you indicated that item inventory number 6 is on this label. It's also on the red card that was stapled to the other side. Could you show the jury where on the crime scene sketch that would be located?
Yes, it's right there in the doorway between the bathroom and the bedroom.
Okay, now going into our television here, where would that be?
At the upper part right there. Will this laser reach up there?
It doesn't really reflect. It reflects still. Would it be right there where it says number 6?
Correct.
Okay. So for all the items that were collected from Jason Chen's apartment, if they wanted to find something from a particular spot, they could start by looking at the crime scene diagram.
Correct.
Identifying the item number.
Yes.
And then comparing that number 6 with the number 6 that we see right there.
Correct.
Thank you. Ma'am, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as item 142. Do you recognize this item?
Yes.
What is that item, ma'am?
It is a carpet sample with suspected blood taken from Jason Chen's bedroom.
And specifically, what item number is that?
Item number 9.
We have Ayden, please. So using the crime scene sketch, where is item 9?
It will be above and to the right of number 6.
So above, to the right?
Yes.
Okay, so right here, next to the rectangle.
Correct.
Draw your attention now to Exhibit 68. Is there any correlation between inventory item 9, what's been marked for identification 142, and the bloody spot that you identified in Exhibit 68?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Is there any correlation between this physical item and what we see on the screen in Exhibit 68?
It's that area right there where the suspected blood was.
Did you remove that area of carpet?
Yes, it was cut out.
Is what you've identified as 142 the area of carpet that you removed from that location in Exhibit 68?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit item 142 in evidence.
So admitted.
Now I'm handing you now this has been marked for identification as item 143. You recognize that?
Yes.
What is item 143 now?
It's a blue and red plaid shirt.
Where was that?
Button down.
Where was that item recovered from?
Bedroom closet.
All right, move to admit item 143. All right, ma'am. As part of your initial walkthrough, there was a ton of photographs taken. Can you take another set of
His name
photographs?
is Paul
We
Moyles.
also take photographs.
Prosecutor Paul
We're also
Moyles.
processing of the scene, and we also take photographs just prior to exiting the scene.
So there are multiple sets of photographs taken.
Yes.
When we say processing the scene, does that mean?
Searching.
Okay. Do you do anything else during the processing?
We'll test areas of suspected blood. We may use other processes like Blue Star to identify areas that are not visible to the naked eye.
Ma'am, I'm handing you what's going to be marked as Exhibit 144, a collective exhibit, specifically pages 1 to 9. You take a moment and familiarize yourself with those.
Okay.
Ma'am, what do those photographs generally depict?
These are photographs of the apartment once the evidence markers were laid down.
And specifically which room?
Living room, kitchen area,
So the front portion of the apartment?
yes,
So we're now focusing on the area that's shown on the screen on the television right now.
yes,
Are these photographs that you took when you conducted the search warrant?
yes.
Your Honor, I would move to admit into evidence Exhibit 144, collective 1 to 9.
So admitted.
Thank you. May I publish to the jury?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with item 1, then. Oops, sorry. On the crime scene diagram, here we go. Item 1 is indicated with a circle and an arrow. What does that mean?
That's the location it was located in. The arrow probably indicates it was under the couch.
Okay. Can we see Exhibit 1 in this photograph?
Yes.
I'm now showing second page of the collective exhibit. What are we looking at here, ma'am?
It says item number 1, scrub brush.
And why would that be important, or a potential item of evidence that you would deem worthy of marking with an evidence marker?
After seeing the suspected blood throughout the apartment, it was probably believed that there was a strong possibility that there was some cleaning up done based on the amount of cleaning materials and other items that were there.
Now showing you third page of the collective exhibit. What are we looking at in this photograph?
This is suspected blood right here, side number 2.
Zoom in so the jury can see that. Would you mind pointing it out to the jurors? And where is this adjacent to? Where is this in the crime scene?
It's behind the couch.
Okay, we're now looking at a close-up of that second evidence marker.
Yes.
Fifth page, what are we looking at here?
It's an overall photograph from item 4 to item 6. With item 3, it's under the kitchen sink.
Okay, so under the kitchen sink is item number 3. What is item number 3?
There's a box of hefty trash bags, drawstring, I believe 33 gallon.
Are those what we would describe as kitchen-sized garbage bags, ma'am?
Not really, no. The kitchen does not appear to be 33 gallons.
So it's smaller, so it's a mismatch?
Yes.
And my handy has been marked for identification purposes as Exhibit 145. What is this?
A box of black trash bags.
Is that the box of white trash bags that we see collected from item marker 3 on the screen?
Yes, the hefty trash bags, yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit into evidence Exhibit 145.
So admitted.
Ma'am, what color the pole has for these garbage bags?
Blue.
Can you point that out to the jury?
Yeah, that's the pull tab right there. And it's also indicated on the outside of the box.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm now showing you the 8th page of the collective exhibit. What is located at item 4?
It's another suspected blood stain.
Zooming in, exhibit, or the 9th page of the collective exhibit. Can you point that out to the jury?
Yes, this area out here.
Now, did you collect the actual floor like you did with the piece of carpet that was admitted into evidence? It's exhibit 143?
No.
You didn't pull up the floorboards?
No.
How do you process a stain like that on a surface?
We would collect what we call a suspected blood swab.
How does one collect a suspected blood swab?
Using sterile cotton swabs. We add distilled water to one of them. One is wet, one is dry. And we will swipe over the suspected area. And then we'll place that in a sterile cardboard box. And then we'll place that inside a brown paper bag.
Is that the process that you learned through your training?
Yes.
is that the process that you've used throughout your career as a crime scene investigator?
Yes.
Handing you what's been marked on the application is number 146, specifically 1 to 9, 8. Would you mind familiarizing yourself with those?
Okay.
What do they show, ma'am?
These are photos I took, overall photos of items of evidence in the bathroom.
Okay, so using the crime scene diagram, are we talking about this general area here?
Correct.
Do they fairly and accurately depict what you observed with your own eyes when you conducted the search warrant?
Yes.
All right, I move to admit into evidence, collective exhibit 146. So admitted. Thank you. Ma'am, could you please describe to the jury what we're looking at here?
Again, it's an overall photo of items marked for evidence in the bathroom. Item 5, I believe was a blood swab. 6 was a cutout of the carpet with blood. 7 was some boxer brief underwear.
Specifically, item 5, did you collect a sample of the reddish substance that we see immediately to the right and below Exhibit 5?
Correct.
Using the process with that sterile swab that you described earlier?
Yes.
Those tiles aren't square.
Now, what about
off-center.
item 6 that we see in the third page of the collected exhibit? How did you process that particular item of evidence?
Actually cut out the section of carpet and looked underneath and made sure that the blood had saturated through the carpet and the padding and to the subfloor.
And so the record is clear, the process that you just described resulted in item 6, which is Exhibit 141 to the trial.
Yes.
Thank you. You described that there was a substance that went through from one side to the other. I'm now showing you page 4 of the collected exhibit. Could you point that out to the jury?
Yes, right here.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Did you collect the clothing article that we see in Exhibit 7, or I'm sorry, Item 7 on page 5 of the collected exhibit?
Yes.
Okay, so you collected those.
Yes.
What's the significance of number 8, ma'am? That appears to be in the shower.
Yes, that's the shower drain. It had visible hair, and we constructed it for possible forensic evidence.
I'm now showing you the 8th page of that collected exhibit. It's close up. So you collected that hair?
Yes, and the drain.
Oh, so you took the actual metallic drain that we see in the circular object in the middle?
Yes, the drain cover, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. After you processed the bathroom, where did you go next?
To the bedroom.
Handy has been marked for identification as 174, specifically pages 1 to 6. Would you mind familiarizing yourself with that?
Okay.
What do they show?
Overall photographs of items marked for evidence in the bedroom.
Do they fairly and accurately show what you collected at the crime scene?
Yes.
From the bedroom?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit into evidence 147.
147.
That's collected exhibit.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so we have here exhibit 9, or evidence marker 9, evidence marker 10. Evidence marker 9 is that carpet piece that we have here as exhibit 142 to the trial.
Yes.
What is item 10?
It's a button with a small piece of material attached to it.
I'm now showing you the second page of the collective exhibit, and I'm going to skip ahead to the third page. I'm sorry, the fourth page of the collective exhibit. What was on about that? Why did you mark that as a possible item of evidence, and did you in fact collect that?
Yes, I did collect it. It was definitely out of place. The button possibly could have been torn from the shirt since the material was still attached to it.
To your knowledge, did you ever find an article of clothing that was connected to that button?
No.
I'm now showing you the fifth page of the collective exhibit. What are we looking at here?
Item number 11 was a knife that was on the bed.
May we approach? Yes, sir.
I imagine the approach is for possibly a sensitive item. I don't know. Let's see. This particular witness, it's not the gripping testimony that we would like to be hearing today. It's very matter of fact, formality. I would even go so far as to say dry. But it needs to come in. It's evidence that we are going to see. The jury does get to consider. And even though defense has said he's guilty, the state still has to prove it. Thanks for all those who clicked the like button. We're already nearly 3/4 of the way there. Trying to get to 1,000 today. We have 1,300 people here with us today. So there's about 600 of you who have not done your duty. Testimony is quiet. There's a lot of noise as well. It makes it hard to hear. The microphones are not being used effectively in this courtroom. The judge has said where the microphones for the camera need to be. And the cameraman has just elected to use the onboard shotgun mic or onboard condenser mic on the camera. So we hear everything in the courtroom. And, of course, the sounds that carry the best are the ASMR from the paper bags and the rustling of papers and the chairs squeaking and the coughing and everything else. And the ones we hear the worst are the witness and the judge and the prosecutor or defendant. Cameraman sounds like he's the one with the cough. It's loud. It is. Also, the the prosecutor, Mr. Paul Moyles, has a cough.
Pending what's been marked for identification purposes as item 148. You recognize this item?
Yes.
What is that item?
It's a gray knife, that I collected from the bed.
Okay. That we can see there towards the center of the photograph on the screen, page 5?
Yes.
It's a gray knife collected from the bed.
Knife shown in
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
That's where the knife
marker
was.
11 and collected exhibit 5.
Exhibit 148.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to ask you about the orientation of the bed in this photo.
Police would have noticed that.
What wall is that bed up against?
It's the north wall.
What you would describe as the north wall?
Yes, north wall of the bedroom.
Okay. Zooming out on the crime scene sketch, there's an N with an arrow pointing down. You see that?
Correct.
What's the significance of the N with the arrow?
Showing the direction of north.
So, I'm sorry, I can't scroll from the television. So going to the bedroom, the north wall would be where on the crime scene sketch?
It would be the lower wall on the bedroom.
The wall separating the bedroom from the bathroom?
Correct.
Now, when you conducted your initial walkthrough and your search, did you know prior to your search the normal orientation of the furniture in this bedroom?
No.
I'm now showing you what's been admitted into evidence as one moment, Judge. Yes, sir. As exhibit 73. Do you see the green tapestry on the wall?
Yes.
Do you see the markings on the wall to the lower left of the tapestry?
Yes.
And do you see the bed that we saw in the collective exhibit just a moment ago, where item 11 was?
Yes.
Orient the jury to that.
As far as the headboard is up here on this wall.
Okay. So if where that wall is the north wall, what wall would you call the one with the tapestry on it?
The east wall.
The east wall. What is adjacent to the bed along the corner where the east wall intersects the north wall?
The nightstand.
I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 74. You see that?
Yes.
I'm now showing you what's been admitted into evidence, ma'am, as Exhibit 72. Okay. Particularly, I'd like to draw your attention to the intersection of the east wall with, I guess, the south wall. Is that, you see that right there?
Yes.
Where would the south wall be for the jury?
Right here.
Okay, so where the blinds are, the vertical blinds?
Correct.
Okay, where there's an electrical outlet?
Yes.
Man, when you're conducting your initial walkthrough, did you notice those marks towards the corner?
We did not know.
What would those marks be indicative of in your training and experience?
They could be worse.
does call for opinion or speculation. I'm assuming that's the objection.
Yes, sir.
You want any of that?
Yes, Your Honor. It's within the scope of everyday observation and common sense. Somebody leaves an item on carpet for an extended period of time.
Okay. So it's not about what the stuff's in the carpet, it's just the indentations in the carpet?
Yes, there's an item sitting there. Here, Mary Roach.
Yes.
Welcome to everyone from the Defense Rest. Appreciate the raid. We are in a slow part of the trial, but a very important part of the trial as the evidence from the apartment, from the walkthrough where they were identifying areas of evidence and taking carpet snippings and basically everything they found that they thought had evidentiary value into custody, taking samples of that and packing them up. We're now unpacking everything, and we're going to be doing a lot of ASMR, holding a lot of evidence bags, a lot of crinkly paper noises today are going to be going on. But wow, disturbed there in the background. Sorry, hit the wrong button. The knife. The knife is a big issue, and I think defense is definitely going to address this on cross-examination because we have body camera footage of officers walking through the apartment the first time when they're just looking for a person. They're just looking to see if there's a person in there. They can't open drawers, and they can't look anywhere where a person wouldn't fit, right? They just walk through, they're shining lights around. Guess what? There was no knife on the corner of the bed. There was no knife. It wasn't there. And then you've got the family who goes in there a couple times. And then they leave, lock it up, and the police come back and do their investigation. And ta-da, there's a knife on the corner of the bed. Couple problems. That knife was not the knife that was used in the murder, apparently, because there was no fingerprints found on it. There was no DNA. There was no blood, apparent blood found on it. It was just another knife. How did it get there? We don't know. We don't know. Arguably, somebody put it there. Yes, Chen did move the bed. Bridget, no one knew he was stabbed. Okay, here's the idea that's come to my head that sort of makes sense in this story, but nobody's testified to it. Someone who went in that apartment one of the times after the police had sort of walked through looking for Jasmine and didn't find her, went in that apartment and probably grabbed a knife for protection. Just in case there's somebody's here, let's make sure it's empty. And then after it was empty, they just set it on the bed and left it there.
What do those
That's my story.
Lines on the carpet indicate to you?
They do look like indentions in the carpet where furniture could have been prior.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gloves.
In addition to the collection of the items that we have seen in the various collective exhibits with evidence markers, specifically collective exhibit showing close up of the knife, number 6 for the record. Did you place additional evidence markers, 12, 13, 14, 15, at this crime scene?
No.
Why is that, ma'am?
We don't normally do that. Anything we collect after the initial is discovered during the search or when additional information is gathered, and we don't necessarily work through those evidence markers.
So did you collect additional items of evidence labeled 12 and higher from Mr. Chen's apartment?
Yes.
But we don't have any pictures with little evidence markers?
Correct.
Additional items that you collected, like the swabs, do you mark them in any particular manner?
If we don't use evidence markers, we may document it with scale tape, or we could document it with just photos.
Okay. I'm showing you what's been marked for identification is Exhibit 149, specifically items 1 to 13. Can you familiarize yourself with those?
Okay.
What are those items, man?
There are photographs of suspected blood.
Are they marked in the manner that you indicated with
Yes, with the scale tape. Yes.
Scale tape? Your Honor, I move to admit into evidence 149, 1 through 13.
So moved.
Okay. Can I publish?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, in this case, ma'am, I'm showing you collected exhibit 149, 1. Can you point out the scale tape for the jury?
This is the scale tape right here.
What's the yellow item below it?
It's just another measurement, either from the ceiling or from the floor.
Now, ma'am, it appears as though one of the scales is bigger than the other. Can you explain that?
Well, this one is in inches, and this one
You
is
say this one.
the yellow one.
The yellow one is in inches?
Yes,
And what's the white one?
I believe centimeters.
Centimeters, okay. And I see something right below the centimeter scale, and I'll zoom in for the jury. There's like a marking, dark marking in the center. What's that?
I believe that's the letter A.
Okay. In this case, did you mark the, I guess, the blood transfers and blood swipes that we see on the screen?
Yes.
Letters?
Yes.
Okay. Did you collect a sample from the light switch that we see here as A?
I believe so, but I would have to check the evidence report.
Okay.
I collected several blood swabs.
All right. Did you collect a blood swab from the bedroom light switch?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And if that was the first blood swab, would that be indicated with a particular letter?
Not necessarily on the, it would be A.
It would be A?
Yes.
Okay. Now showing you collective 2. I'm sorry, 149, page 2. Specifically, right there. Can you describe what we're looking at to the jury?
It appears to be another blood transfer.
On what surface?
The door frame.
What is a blood transfer while we're talking about that?
It's just any time blood is transferred from one surface to another.
Okay. And where is this in the apartment?
It's the door going into the bedroom from the bathroom.
Okay. Would that be shown as, I believe, 13 on the crime scene diagram?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a close-up of the same blood transfer?
Yes.
Okay, for the record, 149.3. Were there blood transfers adjacent to the bed that you recall?
Yes, there was one just inside the doorway of the bedroom.
I'm now showing you 149.4. It's kind of a blurry photograph, so we'll go on to 149.5. What are we looking at there?
It is a blood stain.
Blood stain. Would you call that a transfer as well?
It could possibly be a transfer, but it looks more like a drop.
A drop?
Yes.
Okay. And why would you say it looks more like a drop than a transfer?
It doesn't look like a smear or a swipe.
Going back to 149.1, how would you describe that?
That is more of a smear or a swipe.
So when we go back to 149.5, that looks like what you described as a drop.
Where blood could have been dropped from a higher point.
Yeah. Pulled on the molding?
Yes.
Thank you. And would that be what we see as item 14?
Yes.
Moving on, where are we now standing? Where is this photograph taken?
The standing in the bathroom and shooting towards the bedroom.
For the record, Judge, this is 149.6. I'm going to show you 149.7. How would you describe the substance that we see there next to the letter D?
It's a blood stain, possibly a transfer.
Okay. Is that taken at marker 15 on the crime scene diagram?
Yes.
149.8. What is this?
That is the bathroom door.
Leading from where to where?
This is the kitchen area, and then this is the bathroom, so kitchen.
So this is the door from the bathroom to the kitchen.
Correct.
Show me 149.9. You see that?
Yes.
Could you describe to the jury what that is?
That's also a blood stain, possibly a transfer.
Did you search that door for other blood stains?
Yes, please, so.
Would that be shown as number 16 on the diagram?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Okay. Now, that first one that we just looked at just a moment ago in 149.9 was immediately blood blocking mechanism. Is there another blood transfer that you found on the door?
There was this one here, and there was also one higher.
Okay. 149.11, is that a close-up of the one that you said was up higher?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall finding any other blood transfers on the door?
Not that I recall.
Going now to 149.12. What are we looking at with this?
This is the bathroom area, that's the kitchen area, and that's the bathroom vanity, and that's the trim for the bathroom door.
Okay. Showing you 141.13. What do we see there?
Blood stain, possibly a blood drop.
Possibly a blood drop. And would that be at evidence marker 18?
Yes.
Thank you. After you collected samples of the substances that we see in the collected exhibit 149, did you continue your search?
Yes.
Now showing you
Yours is about 10:30. We'll take a mid-morning break, probably about 15 minutes or so.
Jurors wake up and nod their heads. Like, oh, yes, break. 15 minutes. Sounds good.
And then I'm handing you, it's going to be marked for identification purposes as 150, collective 1 through 18. Familiarize yourself with those.
Anybody wants to stand and stretch while I was looking at the pictures, feel free to do so.
She's not an expert witness. She's a professional witness, meaning she was the investigator on the case. A investigator who documented the blood stains all over the apartment. Now we have to get those, each one, admitted in evidence. So she's going through the process of verifying the pictures are correct. She knows what they are, and then we'll bring them all in. We'll also bring the samples that she took from the carpet, the tile and stuff.
What's shown in those photographs, ma'am?
These were additional photographs taken during the search process of items of potential evidence.
Do they fairly and accurately depict what you observed?
Yes.
Now I'll move into evidence. What is it? What did it?
Was it 1 through?
1 through 18.
So
I see a green hat in this photograph, or maybe it's gray. Do you see that?
Yes.
And this is 151. Was there anything of evidentiary value on the hat?
There was a red stain on it, so we collected it.
That red stain, is it shown in 152?
Yes.
And for the record, going back to 1, would this be in between the bed and the east wall?
Correct.
150-3. What are we looking at here?
I believe these were sweatpants that were located inside the washer machine.
Showing you what's been admitted into evidence as 150-4. Now, could you please point out to the jury where the sweatpants are in this photograph?
Yes, they're right here with the red stain.
There's a white object with what appears to be an ear behind the gray sweatpants with the red stain. What is that?
That would be Investigator Brown.
One of the crime scene investigators?
Yes.
Just holding out the pants?
Correct.
For a clear photograph?
Yes.
In addition to continuing to process the crime scene, did you find any glass?
Yes.
And you has been marked for identification purposes as Exhibit 151. Do you recognize this item?
Yes.
What is that item?
They are glass fragments.
Where were these glass fragments found?
They were located kind of between item number 2 and 4. I actually didn't notice them until I was trying to document a blood stain on the floor and using oblique lighting, and that's when I noticed the glass fragments.
What do you mean by oblique lighting?
Just lighting from different angles.
So you used a different angle of light, and did you observe, like, I guess, a glint of the glass?
Correct. They were very small.
Very small?
Very small.
Did you collect them?
Yes.
Did you collect all the glass that you could observe?
Yes, believe so, yes.
What do you have in your hand?
Glass fragments.
All the glass that you could find in the crime scene?
Yes.
And specifically, what's the item number?
Item 22.
Which, using the crime scene diagram, where would that have been located?
Just to the right of the kitchen peninsula.
So, right here, where I'm pointing?
Yes.
That's where the glass shards were found. The pants were in the washer.
If I could ask you to just plug up and empty the contents of that.
Please dump out all the glass shards. Is that what he just said? Where are you going to dump out all the glass to? Scissors are being used properly. Greeners, thank you. Gifted a membership, and it went to Sharon. Sharon, congratulations. This is what I do with the macaroni and cheese packet. Make sure you get all the flavoring out.
Are those the fragments you collected from the apartment? Yes. And I moved the admitting to evidence item 151.
So then, ma'am, do you object? No, I just admit this he has an objection to it. No, listen, I don't have to admit this if you have an objection to it. Point. I just want to see it. Okay.
Just want to see the glass pieces. Defense has proposed that those glass shards were from a broken wine glass that Mr. Chen was attacked with by Jasmine.
How could you kind of fold up the sides to make like a little bowl for us?
Now we're doing paper airplanes. This is one I learned earlier. Oh, now we switch to, okay. Briefly we switched to the courtroom audio, and now we're back to the onboard shotgun mic.
Those are the fragments?
That's the glass fragments.
Any clue where that came from?
I do not.
Are they,
Could be a wine glass.
would you describe them as large?
No, they were very small.
Okay. Did you find, I guess, the stem of a wine glass?
No.
Is this the stem of a wine glass?
Objection.
The other answers.
Asked and answered. He asked if she knew what it was, and he said no.
Seems like it's calling for an opinion.
She's not an expert.
I think the size of those fragments being so small would be very speculative if she were to guess what it was, unless she knows. You have to lay a foundation for that at this point. That's the thing.
Thank you. Dan, would you mind placing those back in? You too.
Try not to drop any, because heaven help us if there's a different number of shards at some later point. defense will jump all over that.
Thank you, ma'am. As part of your search of Mr. Chen's apartment, did you have an opportunity to locate a gray hoodie?
Yes.
Where is that gray hoodie located?
I believe it was either on the bed or one time, and it may have made its way to the floor. A lot of times we get additional information while we're processing the scene, and we may not know exactly what we're looking for, and then we get additional information from the detectives. But I believe this gray hoodie that I collected was originally on the bed. It may have been moved during the search, and then we got information about collecting the gray hoodie, so we would have collected it. It may not have been in its original location, but regardless, it was inside Jason Chen's bedroom.
Okay. Now I'll hand you the mark for identification purposes as Exhibit 152. You recognize the mark for identification is 152.
Yes, it's the gray hoodie.
That you collected from Mr. Chen's apartment?
Correct.
Your Honor, I would move to admit into evidence the gray hoodie.
So 152.
Ma'am, would you mind opening that exhibit?
All right, here comes the gray hoodie. I believe she has the evidence in front of her, and it has on the paper where it was collected from, everything else. So she sort of has a help in answering these questions.
It's about the 15 to 11 month.
I think we're nearing the end of the
There goes the evidence bag.
Okay, Christine?
Yes, ma'am.
Just keeping at arm's length.
And ma'am, this is marked on the packaging as Exhibit 42. Where was this gray hooded sweatshirt collected from on the crime scene diagram?
It's shown it was on the bedroom floor.
Okay. And specifically, where on the diagram?
Right on the right-hand side, near the top.
So right there, number 42?
Yes.
I'm now showing the jury, if I have DVD judge. Sir.
Krista Johnson, thank you very much for gifting a membership at Road to Petrified. Congratulations,
Now showing the
Petrified.
jury Exhibit 65 already in evidence. The gray hoodie that you have in your hand, is that the gray hoodie or the gray object that we see on the floor adjacent to the, I guess, the armoire cabinet?
Honestly, I do not believe that is this.
Oh, it's a different gray hoodie?
Yes. I believe this one was originally on the bed. It was moved during the search. And we got requested to collect the gray hoodie. And at that time, it had been on the floor at the foot of the bed.
So, but it did come from Mr. Chen's bedroom?
Yes.
At 110 Tremont Street?
Yes.
Apartment 210?
You got it wrong. It's the wrong hoodie. What if the defense will ask about that?
Thanks, man. You can place that
Show
back.
us where that hoodie was. I really wonder if the jury's going to get brown paper bags with sandwiches in them for lunch today. I think that would be humorous.
Ma'am, we also have what will be marked for identification as Exhibit 153. This side. You recognize it?
Yes.
What is this item?
It's a gray sweatshirt.
Okay. Does it have a brand associated with it?
I believe it's J. Crew.
And where was this collected inside Mr. Chen's apartment?
I believe investigator Booker collected this. It was in the bedroom.
Okay. And specifically which item? Number 45?
Yes.
Okay. Which would be in the same area?
Yes.
Okay.
Originally, I believe this was probably in the closet hanging up.
Originally the closet hanging. Collected from Mr. Chen's apartment during the search warrant?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move in evidence 153.
So,
And may I publish the jury file in the exhibit?
yes, sir.
If you could open the exhibit, ma'am.
Amanda H, thank you very much. Gifted membership, and that went to Jen Joe. We're seeing more longtime members getting some of these memberships. Maybe means the drought is over. That is awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Did you just put that evidence bag on her chair? Oh, no, on the table. Bug Dugger gifted a membership. Red Pen gifted 5 memberships. Ashley, Kelly P,
Turn it around the other direction.
Bill, Diana, or
Ma'am,
Danielle,
is there a zipper down the front?
and Diana.
Does the zipper run all
awesome.
the way?
No.
Is it what we would call a, I guess, a quarter zip?
Yes.
Mel
Is it in
Boy,
fact a J. Crew hoodie? Or not
you,
hoodie,
thank you.
sweatshirt?
Rebecca, thank you, Bite Me. It's
Investigator
raining,
Booker collected this.
raining memberships. Naomi gifted a membership.
Okay. There you go.
Lots of hoodies being presented in trial. I love the arm's length. I would do that as well. I would probably hold it up to my chin to fold it,
Searching
actually.
the interior of the apartment at 110 Tremont Street, did you search the exterior?
Yes.
Roro, thank you very much.
Specifically,
Bug
did you
Dugger,
search a
thank you
dumpster
as
area?
well.
Yes.
Future, this is crazy. It's going nuts.
I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as collected exhibit 83-1. Are you familiar with this location?
Carol Engel, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
What is that location?
It's the apartment complex dumpster.
Going on to the next picture in that collected exhibit 183-2. Is
Go ahead,
that
Steve.
the
Thank you.
condition of the inside of that dumpster enclosure as you found it on the day you executed the search warrant with Investigator Crawford?
Yes.
Okay.
Bug Dugger, thank you so much. Southern Magnolia comes in with 5. Stacy Ray comes in with another one.
183-4.
Andrew C. You guys are amazing. Tori, the seed
Question
lady, I
about
see in
what
there.
the bluish item is that's peeking out from under the blue jeans.
The other jewels, thank you very much.
Looks like maybe vent air freshener for a vehicle.
Okay. Zooming back out, did you collect any of the items shown inside collected exhibit 183-4?
Angelique, thank you. Jade, thank you so much. Denise Feldman Ersland, thank you as well. Bug Dugger, gifting again. Josh Hutchins, gifted 5. Family errands.
Ma'am, I'm handing you what's going to
These
be
are-
marked for identification as 154. You recognize this?
Yes, the underwear floated outside the dumpster.
Can you please point out to the jury where that is in the photograph?
Petrified. Thank you so much.
Right here.
Thank you, ma'am. I move to admit 154 into evidence. Handing you the marked for identification as 155.
DSN, Ronnie, thank you. Lynn in
This is
South
the,
Carolina.
sanitary pad that was located outside the dumpster. Right here.
Morgan LaRusse,
Move to admit into
thank
evidence,
you.
and that's the same one. Move to admit 155. This is 150.
Macy's. Macy Combs says, more of my insulin money.
You identify that for the jury?
Deb Pickett, welcome to the jury. Jury member, padded seats. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Shown in that picture?
Yes.
Move to admit into evidence item number 156, the blue jeans. Thank you, Ron. Finally, it's been marked for identification as 157. Can you identify that, Jury?
A pair of white tennis shoes. I believe they were Vans. Right here.
Left and right?
Yes.
All you members have access to the emojis now. That's wonderful.
Move to admit into evidence 157, white tennis shoes.
So then,
I think this would be the break.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's not quite a mid-morning break, it's a late morning break. We're going to take one 5 minutes to 11. We'll be back 5 minutes after 11. We'll resume the jury time.
Get a 9-minute break. That gives me a chance to say thank you. Bug Dugger, another 5 memberships. Amber C gifted another 5 memberships. Wow, that is so loud. That is so loud. Wow. Thank you all for the gifted memberships. By my count, about 65 memberships just got gifted this morning, or gifted or purchased. A couple of you bought your membership as well. Thank you. Selena K gifted a membership, and Linda, congratulations. Shark gifted another 5. Wow, I thought you all were asleep like I was, but you woke me up for sure. We are just 25 likes away now from 1,000. I think we can get there during the break. That would be absolutely wonderful. This community is the most generous. Absolutely, Artie Bay. You are 100% correct. Catch me up, Allison. Okay, I'll catch you up. In this trial, here's what's been going on. We're on day 3. We're on witness number 9. I forgot to put the name down in here. This is Michelle Johnson. Sorry, I'm keeping notes. It's one of the things I'm doing. I'm looking off screen. Oh, and we just passed 1,000 likes as well. Yay! Where's the party sound? There it is. There's the party sound. We thank you all. Thank you. That means a lot. Kells Bells gifted a membership as well. Thank you. We are on day 3. We're on witness number 9. There is a ton of evidence here, and you're wondering, why are we wasting all this time on evidence if literally the lawyer for the defendant got up and said, yeah, he's guilty. He killed her. Well, it's because they're trying to prove premeditation, and they want a ton of evidence to show that that was the case. We haven't got there. We're still in the physical evidence, but all the blood all over the apartment. If this were self-defense, why is there blood all over the apartment? Why is there a cleanup? If this was a crime of passion, why were there? I don't know. Well, that would explain the 60 stabs. But why the suitcase, the hiding things, why the text messages pretending that he was her, on her social media, there's a lot of questions. He blacked out. That's what he said. and killed her in that blackout. Yeah, a lot of questions there. Exactly, you call 911 after. Yeah, even a crime of passion. You got people that like, look, I came in, a fit of rage came over me. I could not believe that my significant other was cheating on me in my own home, and in a fit of passion, I lost it. And then you call the police. You don't generally go to the store and buy a bunch of hydrogen peroxide and bound to paper towels and some other stuff and claim it's asparagus and no. Well, he freaked out. Could be one thing. Will he take the stand? I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to. I realize that if this were a self-defense case, you'd pretty much have to, but I don't think he will. The jerk says, "Whoop! RA can now afford lobster this week." I would love to try lobster. I need somebody brave to try it with me, so I'm going to try to get Mrs. RA to agree to try it. We'll find a restaurant that knows how to cook it well. I have questions, as Lady Baker says. Yes, love the Purple Hearts as well. He also intentionally avoided the cameras. Yes, he avoided the Ring camera. Didn't go by that door with the suitcase. We missed that. No way did he actually take an affirmative defense. No, like not officially. It was Brock-Lorini. Very funny. Live stream eating lobster for the first time. Unpopular opinion, lobster is gross. Overkill doing a blackout. Yeah, you don't. I don't buy that. It just doesn't sound feasible. You only knew her for a couple of weeks. How can you even have the passion for someone you just met? I think we're going to hear probably from the medical examiner, and it's going to be very difficult to do this, but we're probably going to hear that some of the stab wounds were debilitating. Like they alone would disable an assailant if it were an assailant. And yet more stabs continued. I don't think this was all, she fought for 60 stabs. I think she was literally down for the count and out and physically could not fight back. You've got the handcuffs as well, so add that in. Smoked lobster, Thomas. Thomas has an amazing pit boss smoker, and every day, without fail, for the past, 11, 12 days, he has texted me a picture of the dinner he has cooked in the pit boss. And it's not just like, steaks. He's making pizza. He's making all sorts of, I'm pretty sure he made soup in it. I didn't know you could do it, but he's cooking just about everything you can think of in that smoker and loving it. I think he needs to make a YouTube channel just to share his dinners with us. 14 days straight. 14. Okay, I miscounted completely. I'll have to go back and look at all the different dinners. Maybe we'll have to do a lobster tasting podcast. Speaking of podcast, tomorrow is Thursday. Thomas, I think you're still up for a podcast tomorrow. Let me know if that's not the case. We'll be here 8 o'clock tomorrow night and be prepared for some fun and probably talk about food as well. Food will come up. Let's see. Mel's like, what? Would my hubby cook if I bought a smoker? Yes, that's the secret. You buy the smoker and the hubby wants to cook. And Bug Dugger's like, can you have your pin on the map be a little more specific around dinner time? For the record, he had pizza last night with smoked mozzarella. I got a picture. I thought the last one was, I might just, okay, we had I'm counting just on the text he sent me. Let's see. the smoker's going. There's a video, another video of the smoker, another picture of the smoker. Did frozen pizza last night. We've got crab legs, I think, and shrimp. I don't know what this one is. Looks like pork chops. Looks delicious, though. Another video, something covered up with like meatballs over drip pans. This pan, the last one yesterday. What was yesterday, Thomas? What was yesterday's? Oh, mac and cheese, smoked mac and cheese. Wow. Anyway, waffles and true crime. Welcome. I love that you have food and crime, true crime in your name. That's pretty much what we talk about all the time. Let's see. Carindith, they only knew each other a couple of weeks. Yeah, they met on Tinder, and she was staying over at his place. Now, realize she had just gone through the death of her grandma. Jasmine's grandma had just passed away, I believe, on the 22nd. And that was the last time her family saw her. She went missing on the 23rd, or 22nd into the 23rd. Karina, I missed a lot. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Let me scroll back. You kicked everything off. How about that right there, Karina? I see that you kicked everything off with gifted memberships. We also had Krista, Greeners, Amanda H, Bug Dugger, Red Pen, Melpoy, Rebecca, Nomi, Roro, Bug Dugger again, Selena K, Future, Carol Engel, Joanne C, Bug Dugger again, Southern Magnolia, Stacy Ray, Andrew C, the other Jules, Angelique, Jade, Dingsfeldman Ersland, Bug Dugger again, Josh. We have so many gifted memberships today. Deb Pickett, welcome to the jury. Thank you so much for that. Tower Hill Girl, congratulations on 22 months as well.
If you want more time, we can go to 12:30 right now. You specialize in raw spirit, don't you?
Try not to go off script.
How's it going? Good. Good.
Okay, more boxes of evidence, more red labels. I just got the mozzarella pizza. Oh, that looks so good. To all the new members, if you're a brand new member, just know that along with membership, you get a perk. You get a free front row seat. You can access that by typing !seat in the chat. You also have access to all the emojis. And Lulu, thank you very much, adds another membership to the free membership train. And they're the commands. I think seat is the only one that's specific just for members. But everybody here can do the different commands. We don't give out all the names of commands. Some of them are like hidden Easter eggs. You'll have to find them by watching and maybe get someone else to reveal them and write them down somewhere. But the best friend command.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Thank you, Greeners. That was the new best friend command. We've also got some lurks. Here are some that we do give out. All these words, by these words I mean these, if you type them with an exclamation point ahead of them, it will trigger either
send someone with more experience.
Either an audio response like that or a text response like this one that shows we have 63,300 people subscribed to the channel.
Walmart.
I never thought that would ever happen. That is so amazing.
Because he's the guy.
Love the pickles emoji. The pickles emoji is not just
not
pickles.
a camel.
The pickles emoji is spicy maple bourbon pickles.
I'm not a cat.
Which are so good. So good.
Bring the jury. Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
Shame on you, sir.
Those are all these sound effects are being triggered by you guys. We do turn them down or ask that you not use them during testimony, unless it's like super appropriate. Because a lot of people really, me included,
I don't know who won.
Just want to hear
Burger King. People
just
do
want
not
to hear
get
the
have it their
trial.
way.
But these sound effects are from funny moments that we've watched together, or that are pertinent. A lot of them are from trials that we watched in months or years gone past. Can anyone tell me what to search for to find Judge Fleischer's stream? AB, it used to be finding.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Finding's the name of his channel, but he sort of started deleting his live streams when they were done.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Okay, I think we might. We're getting the defendant back in.
In front of the Walmart.
Points doesn't work. We've turned it off just because it's extremely invasive. Are you guys buffering? Looks like mine's working all right. Oh, there's the defendant. In the third tie, he's worn 2 blue ties and now a blue striped tie. First time he's worn a blue shirt. He's always been a white shirt before that.
About to catch a whooping.
The goat scream is manually triggered by
experience.
my goat. We use that when things get absolutely crazy in court. Okay. Things are getting pushed around in the courtroom. Be careful. Don't break stuff. You break it, you buy it. That's the rule. It's the same tie as in RA's boring thumbnail for this case. Thank you, Red Pen, for that little extra commentary. So that boring part. Allison, I bought all my family members a goat for Christmas. They love it. All right, we'll turn the sound off. Turn the mic on just for a little ASMR. The jury is going to be coming in right now, so everyone's standing for them, except for the judge. He has a standing desk, but he doesn't stand for the jury for some reason. That's cool. That's cool. Skybell gifted a membership as well. Thank you very much, Skybell. Exit and come back in to fix the audio. YouTube has been having some issues lately. It looks good on my end. I haven't had any internet hiccups here. I've got 2 gigabit symmetrical fiber. It's looking solid right now.
I know it might seem a big hurdle to bring you to a new city and just not sit at your own bed. It's the second day, bring you a little early, and then dim the lights in the morning. But I appreciate you all staying attentive. I think we'll go probably about another hour or so and break for lunch whenever the state has a stop.
An hour. Another hour of this and then break for lunch.
And remind the jury, what day did you go to Democratic Fremont Street Apartment 210 for the execution of the search warrant?
It's notified on 11/27. I think I actually arrived around midnight on 11/28.
Did you have an occasion to return to that location later?
Yes.
Do you recall what day that was?
I'm not sure.
Was it many months later?
Yes.
Who did you go with?
Went with investigator Curtis.
Did you meet anyone else at the apartment?
I believe Detective Crawford.
What was the condition of the apartment when you returned to it that second time?
It looked like they were in the middle of renovating the apartment. They had torn up a lot of the carpet, a lot of the flooring, the tile flooring. So they were renovating the apartment.
And what was the purpose of your going to that location a second time during that tearing the apartment up process?
During the renovation, the workers discovered, I believe what they thought was a large pool of suspected blood.
So what was your role in going to that location that second time?
Virginia Little, thank you for 5 memberships. Kills Bells, thank you so
the
much.
items and declaring.
Ma'am, I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence already, as Exhibit 127-1. Did you take this photograph?
Yes.
What does it show?
That shows the bedroom.
And what room were you standing in when you took that photograph?
Bathroom.
I'm now showing you 127-2. What are we looking at here, ma'am?
Once they pulled up the carpet, underneath those reddish brown stains, that was on the original scene when the bed was located.
Now, when you were in 110 Tremont Street, apartment 210, back at the execution of the search warrant in November of 22, was this area that you see the carpet in covered by anything?
Yes, the bed was there.
And where would the nightstand have been?
Would have been in this corner here.
So orienting ourselves, the north wall that you described earlier would be where?
Right here.
And the east wall?
Right here.
Okay. And where would that tapestry have been?
It would have been on this wall.
The east wall?
Right.
So kind of up to the right and above from what we can see on the projector right now?
Yes.
If I could have you put on gloves in preparation for a couple of things.
This isn't going to hurt a bit. I'm just going to glove up for a second. You might feel a little pressure.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I see a rectangular object in this photograph that's kind of outlined in blue, if you will. What is that?
That's carpet from the bedroom.
Okay. Did you collect that?
Yes.
Ma'am, if I could ask you to step down off the bench and take a look at what I have right here.
Felix, could you turn the witness's mic around?
The judge, for the first time, acknowledges that he knows that mics exist.
You recognize that object, ma'am?
Yes, a large section of carpet, brown with padding.
Is it the same item that we see in 127-2?
Yes.
Please open. Oh, I'm sorry. And that's what you collected on the day you returned with Detective Crawford when they were renovating?
Yes.
The same day that photograph was taken?
Correct.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit into evidence item 158.
She's using the scissors incorrectly. Though we've seen worse. These are two boxes taped together so they come apart in the middle. Oh my goodness, they've spread a blue tarp out on the floor.
If you're in the back row, stand. See is better.
How are you going to get this back in the box? I mean, this is a room full of carpet. Oh, man. The tarp is not big enough. Oh, my goodness. That is...
While that's happening, this would be a good time to remind the jurors that all exhibits will go back with you if you feel the need to examine any of this. Some of this is biohazard, so you'll need gloves, and perhaps even the court staff may handle it for you.
Thank you, ma'am. You can step back up.
That's probably more impactful than the suitcase that we've seen already.
It's showing the jury what's been admitted into evidence is 127.
It's very dry.
Is that the stain that the jury can see in the physical evidence sitting in front of them?
Yes.
So as it was in Mr. Chen's apartment, what's closest to the jury, the flat, fairly straight edge, it's not ragged, is up against the north wall.
Jurors, feel free to stand up if you can.
Correct.
And the stain would have run from the north wall back towards the east wall. I'm sorry, back towards the south wall. Is that
Sounds
correct?
like jurors are standing up and looking. You can hear the squeaky chairs. This is the one they missed. Yeah, the police missed this the first time through.
127-4.
They only found it because the cleaning crew, when they were tearing the carpet out, cut through the blood stain. You can see they cut through part of
We have
it.
an evidence right here.
Yes.
What are the yellow and black item on the left-hand side of this photograph?
Scale tape.
What's the white line running along the bottom of the carpet in 127-4?
Is the tape measure?
Are these in centimeters or inches?
Inches.
So, ma'am, could you tell the jury the approximate size of the stain on the carpet that we see in 127-4 and on the ground?
Approximately 5 feet by 32 inches.
32 inches by 5 feet?
Yes.
Goodness.
So that includes a stain that's, I guess, at least...
Maybe a little more than 5 feet.
Okay, a little bit more than 5 feet, so a stain, there's a separation between the two stains. What kind of gap are we looking at between the stain that we see on the right side of the carpet in 127-4 and the very large stain?
Maybe approximately 6 inches.
About 6 inches? So the main stain would be approximately what by what?
Probably 3.5 by 32. 3.5 feet by 32 inches.
That's torso size.
Ma'am, are you aware of a suitcase having been collected in this case?
Yes.
You had an opportunity to examine that suitcase that was collected in this case?
Minimally.
Minimally?
Yes.
In addition to collecting the carpet, did you take swabs of anything?
Yes, I believe I collected 2 swabs.
Showing you 127-5. Do you see the area that you swabbed in these photographs?
I'd have to check my evidence report, but I believe it was these areas right here.
What areas? I'm sorry. The stains on the actual wooden subfloor?
Yes, I'd have to refer to the evidence report to be certain.
Did that help refresh your recollection?
Yes. For the item itself.
For the item itself? Oh, okay.
Later in this trial, the prosecution will show an exhibit that explains why the stain and the shape of the stain explains that she was handcuffed at the time that she was stabbed. And that goes to premeditation.
Yes, they were collected from the slope.
Is your recollection refreshed, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Where were the swabs collected from?
From the subfloor.
Okay. Those two stains that we see in 127-5?
Yes.
And those seem silly, but I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as 159 and 160. Do you recognize these items?
Yes, they're the swab samples I collected from the bedroom under the carpet on the subfloor.
Did we see in Exhibit 127-5?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit into evidence item 159, swab from bedroom under carpet on subfloor, Exhibit 160, swab, bedroom under carpet, subfloor.
Admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, you'd agree that all of the items that we've just admitted into evidence, the swabs and the carpet, came from a single room?
Correct.
Was any evidence collected from another room, or connected with another room in the apartment, I should say?
I believe I also collected the tile backer board, which would have been located in the bathroom under the floor tile.
I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 127-7. You recognize the item in that photograph?
Yes.
Yes, that carpet was discovered. The carpet that's in the middle of the court was discovered months later after the renovation crew was cleaning it. They cut the carpet into strips to tear it up, and one of the strips they cut, the edge had blood on it. That's why there's a clean cut right through that blood stain. They notified the police. That's why the police came back out. This apartment had already been turned over to the renovators to repair.
Identification as Exhibit 161. You recognize this?
Yes.
Don't make me hold it much longer. What is it?
It's the tile backer board.
That you collected from Mr. Chen's apartment?
Yes.
When you went back with Detective Crawford as it was being renovated?
Yes.
Is it the same item that we see up there?
Yes, that's correct.
Move to admit into evidence 161 back board. So admit. Okay. Ma'am, are you familiar with the term buccal swab or buccal swab that some people might say? What is that?
It's a DNA swab collected from an individual from the mouth, the cheeks, inside of the cheeks.
How does one collect one of those?
Kind of similar to the way we collect blood swabs. We use a sterile cotton swab. The only difference in this case, we don't wet one of the swabs, and we'll rub the inside of the cheek of the individual, both sides of the cheek, inside.
In this case, did you have an opportunity to collect one of those buccal swabs from somebody?
Yes.
Do you recall who that individual was, ma'am?
Jason Chen.
What would be the purpose of collecting a DNA swab from Mr. Chen?
To make standard for comparison purposes for forensic value.
Is that what the TBI requires, to be able to conduct a comparison analysis between the two?
They like the buccal swabs and the for blood spot card.
I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes as Exhibit 162. You seen that before?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the buccal swab I collected from Jason Chen.
Move to admit into evidence, buccal swab,
Exhibit 162.
You see the person from whom you collected that sample of genetic material here in the courtroom?
Yes.
Who is that?
Straight ahead in the dark blue suit with the light blue shirt.
Let the record reflect identification, Your Honor.
So reflect.
Thank you. How long, in total, did you spend at 110 Tremont Street?
I believe I got there around midnight and probably left around 11 a.m. the next day.
11 a.m. the next day? Approximately 12 hours? As part of that process of examining and looking for evidence, did you use a substance called Blue Star?
Yes.
You've heard of the name luminol. Is that the same thing as Blue Star?
It's similar.
Similar? Is there a difference?
That I'm not sure.
Okay. Were you present during the application of the Blue Star substance at Mr. Chen's apartment at the execution of the search warrant?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm showing you at that drawing. Exhibit 29. Jury got to see it on the high-def television. Do you recognize that location?
Yes.
Where is that location?
I believe it's the bathroom kitchen area. More specific, the bathroom area.
And the Blue Star reaction is where?
All this glowing material here.
How many times would you estimate that you have either yourself applied or watched someone else apply Blue Star?
I would guess maybe 10 to 15 times.
That's a lot lower than I would have guessed.
Are all Blue Star reactions created equal?
No.
What are the differences?
For a positive reaction, to say that it's more than likely blood, it would be a far more intense and longer duration. If it was what we consider a false positive, possibly cleaning materials or other substances, the duration would be very quick and not as bright.
How would you describe the Blue Star reaction that you yourself observed inside Mr. Chen's apartment?
It's very intense and long duration. It was probably the most I'd ever seen on a reaction with Blue Star on the crime scene.
Of those 10 to 15 times that you've seen it?
Yes.
Was there, now showing you Exhibit 30, I'm going to zoom in. Is there a strong Blue Star reaction in the kitchen?
Yes.
Strong Blue Star reaction in the bathroom?
Yes.
Is there a strong Blue Star reaction in the bedroom?
Yes.
Exhibit 31. What part of the apartment are we looking at here?
This is the bedroom door, so we were standing inside the bedroom shooting for the living room.
Thank you. After you left 110 Tremont Street, where did you go?
I went back to the crime scene office.
For what purpose?
I believe I packaged and sealed the evidence I had collected and downloaded my photographs.
Is that when you started ascribing specific numbers to the property items?
Yes.
So the packaging that we see here today is the packaging that you originally packaged them in?
Yes.
Did you submit those items to the property room?
Not on that date.
Where did you keep them? In the intern?
In the evidence vault.
You have a particular area of the vault that you're assigned?
Yes, I have an evidence locker.
So you have your own locker. Is it secured?
Yes.
Inside a vault?
Yes.
Is the vault secure?
Yes.
And is the vault inside another structure?
It's inside the crime scene office, the crime scene building, which has limited access, which the only people that have access to the crime scene vault are crime scene investigators.
So if someone were to come in off the street, could they just walk into the crime scene office?
No.
Is it also locked?
Yes.
So you place the evidence inside a locker, inside a vault, inside an office, all locked?
What would fit inside the locker, yes.
Okay. What would fit inside the locker? Some items such as, for instance, the carpet, would that fit in your locker?
No.
Okay. But other smaller items such as buccal swab that we see here in 162, would that fit in your locker?
Yes. If it would physically fit in the locker, we would utilize the locker.
And after you did all of that, what was the next thing you did?
I believe I was called the next day around 2 p.m. to respond to 900 Mountain Creek Road.
How long did it take for you to process all the evidence that you collected at Mr. Chen's apartment, do the paperwork, those forms, upon return to the office?
I think I had left around 2:30 in the afternoon.
And you were called back in when?
2 o'clock the next day.
The next day. So you had 12 hours off. Or 24 hours off, I'm sorry.
I know I worked like 51 hours in those 3 days.
So over the course of 3 days, you worked a grand total of 51 hours.
51 hours in 3 days.
What was the next location that you responded to?
900 Mountain Creek Road.
What was the purpose of going to 900 Mountain Creek Road?
They requested crime scene to respond to the location and coordinate the search of 2 large dumpsters.
What were you looking for at 900 Mountain Creek Road?
Anything that may have been discarded by Jason Chen.
And y'all struck out at 900 Mountain Creek Road, is that fair?
Correct.
Didn't find anything?
Correct.
So what did you do next, ma'am?
Then I was advised that we would be responding to Nolensville Police Department to help in the execution of the search warrant.
Do you recall the date that happened?
I believe it was, I'm not sure, the 29th or 30th.
The 29th? Okay. Were you working on the 29th?
Yes.
Okay. What services were required of you to respond for the execution of a search warrant at the Nolensville Police Department? What were you going to do?
Process the scene.
Do you know what scene you were going to?
It was the parents' house of Jason Chen.
Is that located at 1943 Ashburn Court?
Yes.
In the city of Nolensville?
Yes.
Williamson County?
If you say so, yes.
Okay. So, during your search of the residence in 1943 Ashburn Court, did you process that scene in a similar manner that you did 110 Tremont Street?
Correct. Investigator Curtis and I conducted a walkthrough of the scene. I took digital photographs of the scene and also took video of the scene.
Did you find anything particularly noteworthy during your search of 1943 Ashburn Court?
Objection. Call for speculation. Anything interesting? Not there on that.
I said no.
Objection calls for speculation with anything interesting about. There's some spice.
In the upstairs bedroom, located a laptop on desk area, a laptop, some handwritten notes, some eyeglasses, and a wallet belonging to Jason Chen.
I'll show you what's been admitted into evidence. This is Exhibit 94, the trial. You recognize that?
Yes.
What are we looking at?
That's the desk area in the upstairs bedroom.
And you mentioned handwritten notes. Where would those be located?
When they were here and also on the Post-its.
So you mentioned a wallet. Where's that?
Right there.
And the laptop.
Right there.
Did y'all collect those glasses?
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
Are they the ones the defendant is wearing right now?
Did you collect the notes?
Yes.
We also mentioned with the bedroom. I'm going to show you another exhibit. Exhibit 9. Do you recognize that location?
Yes, that's the same bedroom.
And can you see the chair that we saw in the preceding photograph with the laptop, computer, and exhibit 93?
Yes.
It's right there on the right-hand side next to the door. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you find anything of interest inside the red box that we see here in exhibit 90?
Yes, there was a cell phone inside the box.
And I'm showing you what has been admitted into evidence as exhibit 91. You can point out that cell phone in this photograph.
Right here.
And the next exhibit, 92. Where is it? I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes as 163. You recognize that item?
Yes, it's the Apple iPhone I collected.
Okay. So that's the photo from 1943 Ashburn Court that you hold in your hand right now.
Yes.
Move to admit into evidence the cell phone, Your Honor.
Exhibit 163.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Did you find anything in another bedroom that was collected?
Yes, it was downstairs bedroom. I believe I collected a backpack and clothing items.
Showing you what's been admitted into evidence as Exhibit 108. You recognize the item shown in that photograph?
Yes, backpack. I believe the clothing items came out of the laundry basket.
And I'm handing you what's marked for identification as 164. Could you take a moment to familiarize yourself with that collected exhibit? What do the items
Fall, good to see you. How you doing, my friend?
164, 1 through 5 show?
They show the backpack and the contents inside the backpack.
Where was this analysis done?
In the crime scene office.
Back in Chattanooga?
Yes.
Did they fairly and accurately show the contents of the backpack shown in Exhibit 108?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit into evidence.
This trial's scheduled to take 10 days. Looks like, Michelle, you're going to have jury duty if you get picked right in the middle of it.
And may I please publish to the jury?
Yes, sir.
So once you got back to the crime scene office, I'm showing you the first page in that collective exhibit. Orient us to what we're looking at.
It's just a close-up of the backpack.
Okay. And to the right-hand side, there's a black object. What's that?
Over here?
Yes. No. Above.
A shirt, t-shirt, muscle tee.
No, I'm sorry. Right-hand side, above the black and white.
Oh, an umbrella.
Okay, that's what I was going for. And on the left, what's that?
A black shirt.
Okay. I'm now showing you the second page of the collective exhibit. What are these?
That's the same black shirt and then other items that were inside the backpack.
Okay. And the three.
It's a close-up of the receipts and other papers that were found inside the backpack.
Were there any names connected with those items?
I believe they had Jason Chen's name on some of those items.
Okay. And four of the collective exhibit?
A close-up of additional items that were inside the backpack.
And five?
Pretty much overall of all the items that were inside the backpack.
Thank you. Ma'am, I'm handing you now what's been marked for identification as 165. You recognize what's been marked for identification as 165.
Is this the black backpack?
Does it include the contents that we see laid out on the screen here?
Not all the contents.
Not all the contents. Most of the contents?
Correct.
Okay. But these are the things that you collected from 1943 Ashland Court?
Yes.
Your Honor, but been admitted to evidence 165.
So then,
Why did you say not all the contents?
Some things are packaged different. If they may contain evidentiary value, we want to separate them that way. If they have to be analyzed, they don't have to pull out the whole backpack, but just certain items.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention to the lower right-hand corner of this photograph. There's a black rectangle sitting there right next to a $5 bill and some change and a bobby pin. What is that object?
Eyeglass case.
What was inside the eyeglass case?
A SIM card from a phone.
Are there any glasses in there?
No.
Anything that's been marked for identification as 166. You recognize that?
That's a cell phone memory card, 5G Verizon, and it was inside the backpack, inside the eyeglass case.
Do we see on the screen?
Yes.
I will move to admit into evidence 166. Thank you, Your Honor. Now, why would this be packaged separate and apart from everything else?
Because it could have evidentiary value, and it would could be processed by digital forensics or TBI or.
Sure. Ma'am, can I get you to open this up? Do you have the document, Your Honor?
They can't find it. They lost it. It's gone. The evidence is gone. Oh no! Oh no, what do you do now? May we approach, Your Honor? Judge, I don't know what to do here. The evidence is missing. Okay, somebody who was paying attention, what was supposed to be in that? The SIM card? Oh no! That's huge!
Sir,
They found it.
it's tucked in the corner.
Oh!
It's a small little thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Would you mind putting that on the document projector for me? May she step down, Judge?
Wow, wow, wow. That would have been bad. I mean, the hair from the apartment floor, shard of glass, something, that's not a problem. But the SIM card that was in his backpack, that was massive.
No, just put it in the middle. And center it up. Okay.
The pucker factor that the prosecutor just went through reached new levels.
Put this Sharpie down. Tip of the Sharpie. Pretty small. How did you find that little thing inside a glasses case?
We looked harder than we did.
Anything I collect and looked inside the eyeglass case, which I think it was black inside. And it was the part.
So it wasn't a light in color on a light in color like the inside of the
Correct.
envelope that we were digging through just a second ago.
Correct.
Okay. You can take a seat. And when you do, I'd ask you to familiarize yourself with what's going to be marked as Collective Exhibit 167, 1 and 2. Okay?
And then, Your Honor, after this, let's do an early lunch break, and I'm going to change my suits. Oh, man. I say it's massive. It's a tiny item, but it's very, very important to the prosecution's case because it was found. It was Jasmine's SIM card from her phone that was found in his
Familiarize
backpack.
yourself with that Collective Exhibit.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a photograph of the evidence bag that the memory card was sitting in, and a photo of the memory card.
Okay. On the second page?
A photo of the memory card.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'd move to admit into evidence 167, 1 and 2. Sir. Now, ma'am, the SIM card itself is small little piece of plastic that we have sitting on the document projector. Does it have serial numbers on it or any numbers?
Yes, it appears to have numbers on it.
Okay, and the numbers in the photographs, and they match the numbers on the SIM cards you have?
Yes.
You could put it back in there. Put that back inside there. We don't want to lose it. Now, ma'am, it looks like you have different colored tape on this bag. Specifically, there's a blue set of tape that we see up here at the top, and what I would describe as green or teal on the bottom of the bag. Is there a particular significance to the different colors of tape used on items of evidence?
The blue crime scene tape indicates the crime scene unit.
Okay. So that would be y'all's tape?
Correct.
Says crime scene, CSU, that stands for crime scene unit?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your tape. What about the green tape?
I believe that's digital forensic unit.
So if we see green tape on a item of evidence such as the SIM card, would that indicate that someone from that division has resealed the bag?
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you through the projector 163, which was admitted into evidence as the cell phone. Does it also have the, I guess, digital evidence unit tape on it as well?
Yes.
Indicating what to you in your training experience?
They had checked out the item and processed it.
You also mentioned a wallet, and you showed it to us in that collective exhibit that we looked at, or I'm sorry, in the prior admitted evidence. Did you go back to the police department and, similar to the backpack, lay things out for examination?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as Exhibit 168.
It's a gray wallet.
Do you know who that wallet belonged to based on your examination of the contents?
Jason Chen.
Your Honor, and that's the same wallet that was seized from the upstairs bedroom of Mr. Chen's 1943 residence where he was.
Yes.
I move the wallet into evidence, Your Honor.
168.
That might be breaking. Okay. Your Honor.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost noon, so we're going to take our lunch break at this point. Take about, Terry, can you approach the lunch, please?
Yes, Judge.
Judge says to the bailiff, what are the jurors getting for lunch? The bailiff says, we've got Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's coming in. He's like, oh, man, I was hoping for something Italian. Can I get some Italian? Okay, I'm thinking maybe like an Alfredo. There you go. Translated the sidebar for
an
you.
hour and a half, so parties can be back at 1:30. We'll resume the trial at that point.
Hour and a half lunch, longer lunchtime this time. Panda Express, please. Oh, yes, please. Hopefully they get Panda Express at least once. Little Jason's Deli. 4-course meal. Maybe some Peking duck. That would be good. Takes like 24 hours notice. Oh, look, we're not the only ones who are tired from this presentation. Defense attorney Weiss, Big ol' Dion. A scary moment from the prosecution. Requires a goat scream.
Any matters to discuss before we take our lunch break?
No, Your Honor.
All right, see you back at 1:30.
All right, we're going to go to lunch as well. We're going to be back in an hour and 15 minutes. They get an hour and a half today, the longest lunch we've had yet so far in the case. Some have been as short as like 45 minutes, but get an hour and a half today. We're probably going to go late tonight. I'm thinking about 6 o'clock Eastern time is going to be the ending time, which is only problematic because there's a collaboration I'm working on, hopefully happening next week while this case is still going on. And we're filming it at 6 p.m. And I need this case to be over by then. So we might have an early out day and then catch up the next day. I will portal you over to the new stream stuff for sure. Give us just a minute as we get that prepped. Let's see. We are on day 3, part 1. So tomorrow we're going to go to day 3, part 2. All right, and so let's see, what time is it right now? We've got noon. We're going to come back at 1:15. That gives us an hour and 15. You guys, your options are almost endless in an hour, 15 minutes. You can do almost anything. Let's recap what happened this morning. This is day 3. We've only had one witness today. This is Michelle Johnson. She's a crime scene investigator for the Chattanooga PD. She collected the items that the family had originally taken from Chen's apartment, the cell phones, laptop, Xbox, some clothing, I think some IDs, things like that. She also searched Chen's apartment, starting at the front door, and they did a meticulous search, according to her report, all the way through to the back wall of the back room. And it's a shotgun-style apartment, so you can just like see sort of straight through all the way if all the doors are open to the end. She collected all that stuff. They got some samples. They took a load of pictures about blood stains on light switches, on walls, on floors, luminol pictures. They've got all that. And then months later, I mean, that was done on 11/27. Months later, they go back to the apartment after the repair crew, who was tearing up the carpet in the apartment. Okay, they're literally ripping everything up. They call and say, we're tearing up the carpet. There's something you guys ought to see. I think we've got a big blood stain." The repair crew probably also knew that this was a murder scene. The police go out there and check it out, and sure enough, they have missed a massive blood stain. They brought the carpet in and laid it out on a huge tarp in front of the jury. It's probably still there right now. They're probably figuring out a way to wind it back up and stick it in the box. But a human-sized blood stain on the carpet, and it was only visible on the bottom side. It was cleaned up so well, and I think something was pushed over it the first time the police went there. But that has been brought out. A lot of other evidence has been brought out. The SIM card that was found in his backpack was brought out. Let's see. We've got all the stuff that was found in his room, the glasses case. We're not sure if they took the glasses into custody, but they did find the glasses case in the backpack. So interesting things for sure. She's still going to be on the stand this afternoon. It will probably take a little while yet. She might take up most of the day. I mean, she's already taken up half, so that's an easy thing to say. But a little bit dry delivery on the testimony. The big thing that we almost had a big whoopsie was when they opened the little tiny envelope that was supposed to have Jasmine's SIM card in it, and they both looked and couldn't see it. It was tucked in the very corner, stuck there. They couldn't find it at all. And it almost became an issue. I think defense might have been like almost gleeful at that moment. Like, oh my goodness, this is like a package wrapped with a bow delivered to us. But eventually the witness did find it in the corner, and so they were able to put that out and show that on the overhead. But wow, that was a lot of fun. Let's see. I need to make a portal. We will do that right now. I've already got the new stream built. Sorry, and edit, customization, redirect to our new portal. Save, and now we go back to the original. So the portal is set up. Which means we can start our music and wrap up here. We get a long lunch. I wonder why. I wonder what the jury's having. What food do you eat for lunch that takes longer to eat than normal? I'm thinking they're going to a Chinese restaurant where they're making everything in front of them. We'll be back in a little bit. We've already got the new live stream opened. Thank you all who are going to jump over and stay with us throughout the rest of this. I'm doing the best I can on the audio. I realize it's rough. This particular witness as well is a tough one to hear. But we're going to, it's lobster. They're having lobster, just to rub it in. I've never had it in my life. It's my own fault, but maybe tomorrow. I'll talk to Mrs. R.A. and see if she's cool with doing that. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in just a few minutes, about an hour. Hang on. Let me kill us. We've got a spam call coming in. I kid you not. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, they hung up. Oh well. We tried. We're going to go to lunch. I kept the music going, but you guys have a good night. Or have a good day. We'll see you after the break.